As I indicated, over the last several months, there has been an ongoing renovation project within our field house. We've installed new commodes and sinks, a water heater, but as I had alluded to, also some cubicles. But this time I'd like for Mr. Boyd to kind of give a historical perspective of how the field house came to be. Mr. Boyd actually went to Rogersville High School. He went to the school. He played on an undefeated football team in 1959.
This school was built in 1951, or actually the first year of operation was 1951. There was no field house at that time. And where we dressed we dressed in the boys' dressing room off to the side of the gymnasium. Of course, you can imagine after a while there was no ventilation in there and the smell was pretty bad. The fall of '58, they had open house when all the parents of the students were invited to come and look around the school. One of the parents of Larry Wagner, who was a football player, and he played guard on the football team. He was a starter. They took his mother and father into the dressing room down there where we were dressing at the time, where there was no ventilation and all these dirty uniforms were hanging in there, and they were very sweaty and smelled very bad. And when she walked in there, it was so offensive to her that she smelled that and she fainted. And after that, they started construction on the field house in the early spring of 1959. The first football team that had the opportunity to use the field house was the team of 1959, and as it turned out, it happened to be the last undefeated team that Rogersville High had. Even though they had some very good football teams after that, it was the last undefeated team that Rogersville High had, and I was fortunately having the opportunity to be a player on that team. But I can tell you this, the ventilation in that place wasn't so good up there either, but it was better than it was in the dressing room next to the gymnasium.
I would like to recognize Mr. Larry Boyd with a plaque of appreciation. It says, "In appreciation of your commitment and service to Rogersville Middle School, Larry Boyd."
We got really lucky. The Cherokee Alumni Association gave us a pretty good chunk of change to get this done, okay? About close to $900. With that $900, we purchased a bunch of plywood. Home Depot gave us a real good deal. Another person I'd like to thank for this is Shannon Glass. He's our county maintenance supervisor. When we started cleaning out the field house, we had a major leak, some plumbing issues, and all I really asked him to do was fix the leak in the ceiling because we were going to paint the floor. Well, the next thing I know, we've got 2 new commodes, 2 sinks, a water heater, and way beyond what I expected. So they did an excellent job for us. And then Mr. Foles. Guys, you wouldn't believe what he's done for us. All I did was I sent him a bunch of lumber, almost a pallet full of plywood, and he has made a cubicle that's comparable to what the University of Tennessee has. You got a place to sit. You've got a shelf on top for your shoulder pads. You've got hooks for your clothes. It's going to be really nice. So he has donated a lot of his time, a lot of his expertise in working with wood, and he definitely deserves a lot of gratitude from this school and the community, especially the football athletes, for what he's done for us. And when we get this thing painted, it's going to be beautiful.
At this time, I'm going to let Coach Taylor present a plaque of appreciation. Again, it says, "In appreciation of your commitment and service to Rogersville Middle School, Robert Foltz."
Mr. Alshine, Mr. Taylor approached me about doing this project, and it really was an honor. We've been in business for 28 years in this community, and God's really blessed us, and we're fortunate, and I just felt like it was a great honor to give something back to the community, and something that will be remembered in the times to come as football players. And